above, so below. We're talking about lunar energy, moon magic. To each and every one of you guys, if this is your first time on my live, my name is Chief Apostle Samuel Jr. I am the apostle and pastor of Apostolic Faith of Jesus Christ Incorporated, and my beliefs are deeply rooted in the ATRs. The ATRs are the African traditional religions by which we harness, direct, and disperse energy, frequency, and vibration. To each and every one of you guys, if this is your first time in my live, this channel is for melanated people. What's up, Jeremy? Thank you for joining us on today. It's for melanated people, conjurers, mystic, ajays, people whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced. On this channel, I share not my personal beliefs or my personal practice, but I do share universal laws because they apply and applicable to each and every one of us. Thank you so much for being a part of this live, and thank you for the interaction that many of you guys that participate continuously on my live. I'm excited. What's up, my Demetrius, my Gemini in the house? To each and every one of you guys that understand why instruction, teaching is important when it comes down to manifestation. I had one of my tribal members bring up this subject, and based off of the energy of the moon, I thought it was a really good question that they asked me, but I wanted to explain it in more in depth. And those that are interested in manifesting, that are trying to find themselves in a better state of bringing things to pass, some things I'm going to drop today that will really help you understand or respect where you are in the process. What's up, Mama Susan in the house? Gemini, back to back. And this is really, really important that when people, thank you for hitting that like button, when people don't think that you have to pay attention to nature and how energy is flowing and moving. One of the things that I was asked today, those that are in my chat, whether my saints or my tribe, I'm always posing questions, and I'm always giving out information, because that causes you to grow if you're applying it. My subject is acai. I'm drinking. My subject is self-denial creates delays in manifestations. I'm going to say this again. Self-denial creates delays in manifestation. And this is for a lot of people. If you want to know why certain people are getting certain manifestations and why some people are not, it doesn't really have to do with whether you're in Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lakumi, Congo, Palo, or whatever ATR that you're in. First of all, I didn't do this. Salutations to my Madrino, to my Padrino, to my Oba, and to all of my brothers and sisters in Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria. Also, hello to my Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Aquarius, Cancer, Capricorn, Leo, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Libra, and Virgo. What's up, my Boaz? Now, what I'm going to explain is the reason why, and also what hinders you when you how does self-denial, or how does self as you an individual hinder or create delays in your manifestation or prohibit your manifestation. First of all, we want to talk about self-denial. Self-denial, by definition, is the denial of one's own interests and needs to self-sacrifice. So the reason why manifestation is being delayed in a lot of people, whether it's healing, whether it's financial, whether it's increase, whether it's enlarging your territory, whether it is protection, it has a lot to do with you neglecting your own self-interest and your own needs. Because you don't call something a need, Okay, let me use this term. I might not like water in the sense of drinking water all the time, but it is a need. It is a essential need. The reason why a lot of us, whether we are in certain practices, Christianity, beginner, intermediate, advanced, or just a bystander, the reason why we find ourselves having delays in our manifestation has a lot to do with what we call a need versus a want. When a person's priorities are not in alignment to their destiny, they will constitute something as a want, which may be a need. When you are not in alignment with your sole purpose of why you are here, it is very easy to create delays in manifestation. You might be praying for the best for your life, but your alignment, according to your destiny, you are never putting your needs, your spiritual needs, in front of your natural needs. I'm going to say that again. The mere fact with dealing with cycles, I wrote down here for her when she asked me this question. Delays are created by flow, currency, timing, and season. I'm going to say it again. Delays are created by the flow, currency of water, currency, the motion of that water, where you are emotionally will affect your emotions. Are only energy moving, whether that is in love, whether that is in anxiety, whether it's worration, whether it is zeal, whatever type of emotion that you're experiencing in your emotional body is going to either create a flow where manifestation is constant and inevitable, or it is constantly in and out, up and down, hit or miss. It has a lot to do with the currency and also timing. When you choose to say yes to the ancestors, the Loa, the Nkisi, the Mpungo, yes to yourself, yes, giving yourself permission, validating oneself as a Pisces, Aries, as a Gemini, as a Taurus, Aquarius, Cancer, because we're in the season of Cancer, Capricorn, Leo, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Libra, and Virgo. When you understand your energy and you're not sacrificing your ache, your identity, your existence for other people, places, and things for their interests, then you start self-serving your personal interests, and then you find yourself not running into delays. A lot of people feel, especially Christian, you feel like you're the bigger person by doing for others. By me taking care of myself, it puts me into position to help other people. When you are self-sacrificing or denying self, you actually prohibit or limit your ability to show up for people, places, and things fully. And then another one is seasons. People run into delays because they don't respect season. Your own self-denial creates the delays that you see manifesting in your life. You could have been healed. You could have been had your breakthrough. You could have been economically free. But you yourself keep telling yourself it's not time. Every step that you make towards your destiny hinders other people from delaying or denying your. I appreciate you coming in on my live, even though I'm in total disagreement with what you're saying. But thank you for allowing this monetized channel to receive your traffic that allows me to profit no matter what level of ignorance you choose to put on. Let me explain something, y'all. When you are walking in your destiny, all things do work together for your good. Does anybody really understand what I'm saying? The people that think they're hurting you, the people think they're creating a delay, the people that think they're praying against you, all that works together for your good. It puts you in the position of getting to your destination, whatever that may be, sir and ma'am. When you're melanated, the biggest problem, one of the biggest problems, I should say it like that melanated people have is they believe that other people are the reason why they're being denied. Hoodoo workers, root workers, mystic workers, Kabbalahs, Santeros, Iyamis, apostles, prophets, pastors, teachers, whatever. Black people, melanated people, educated or not educated, gay, straight, about, you believe that people have the power to deny you of something sovereignly invested in your genetics. People can mistreat you, but they cannot deny you. People can mishandle you, but they cannot deny you. People can choose not to interact with you. That still does not change you fulfilling your destiny. We get caught up on the outward exterior of other people and places and things that try to value or devalue our existence. If melanated people were true to themselves, as long as you don't self-deny, people can deny, say no all day long. It does not stop your manifestation. I'm going to say that again. Whether you're a root worker, whether you're a person that believes in affirmations, whether you are a person that believes in love or whatever emotion, the only reason you are being denied love is because you're trying to choose the person that you're trying to love. When you are not denying self, you don't choose who the universe or your destiny has to be there to love you. The reason why black people do not have the certain things in their life is because they're denying themselves. What's up, my Sagittarius from Detroit? Let me explain it this. However the package may come, it should be all right with you as long as you're receiving what you prayed for. Because when what you prayed for is not who you desire, I'm going to say this again. What you desire may not be what you need. What you think you're ready for not may be the season for you. And when black people, melanated people, that's supposed to be going in sync with the universe and nature, we understand timing, we understand season, we also understand flow. When you flow with your ancestors, when you flow with your egum, when you flow with your spirits, when you flow with the eternal clock within you, you will always be in sync. Sometimes in the church we say flow with the spirit. That means yield. Don't resist. Whatever anointing or spirit is flowing in the church, whether it's prophecy, whether it's healing, whether it's deliverance, whether it's breakthrough, whatever it is. Some of you guys have no idea the power with going with the flow. When you're swimming and you find yourself in trouble with the currency of the water, your best option is to go with the flow until you find a break that you can swim against the current. A lot of time people get sucked on the current because they're trying to fight the current. I'm going to say this again. When you find yourself in a flow and you find yourself in a currency that is moving against you, the worst thing you want to do is, number one, panic, and number two, not pay attention to what the flow is in the currency. Because the seconds that you figure out could be life or death. I'm going to say this again. Your healing could come if you understood the flow of the spirit that is moving in your life. Whether you're going the holistic route, whether you're going through the divine route, or both. There's a flow of energy. When we light candles, it creates a flow of energy. And a lot of people don't take our time to move with the flow. We call it rhythm in the universe. When you flow with the rhythm, when we say somebody is offbeat, we're saying they're not moving with the rhythm. So therefore, when it comes to spirituality, you're not moving with the rhythm or the drum beat within your soul. What's up, my Aries in the house? These are all important. This is why when people, melanated people, sit down before they get into rituals and conjure and prayers and manifestation, they really need to understand their personal individual energy. Because this what gives you the strength to accept those things that are for you, whether you like them or not, and deny those things that are not for you. Let me explain something. You have to have somebody that understands why education matters. And this is when I talk to people, whether they're air signs, fire signs, earth signs, or water signs, especially water signs. This is season. When you're not checking, what's up, my Ryan? When you're not checking on yourself emotionally, it's called self-neglect. When you're putting the needs of others above yourself, one of my priorities was in this year and last year was to make sure I was okay. When people purchase their membership, they prioritize, but nobody comes before me. I don't care what I am doing. It is my responsibility to make sure that I'm okay, that I'm functioning the way that I was designed to function. Getting my proper rest. Yesterday I did a huge ceremony online doing a reversal. That took a lot of energy out of me. There was a lot of energy released from different realms, from different spirits, from different pantheons, and I had to recuperate from that particular working that I did. A lot of y'all don't want to respect that you're not inexhaustible. You're not omnipotent. Your battery can run low depending on the workings that you're doing. This also hinders and creates delays in your life. I was up early. I did a spiritual bath. My body was still tired. I went out and got some breakfast and came back and got some more rest. You can't convert nobody or nothing until you do the conversion in yourself. Let me explain this. Positioning yourself is crucial. Being an early responder immediately prohibits delays or minimizes them. Positioning yourself as a Pisces, as a Cancer, as a Taurus, as a Gemini, as a Aquarius, as a Capricorn, as a Leo, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Libra, and Virgo. The positioning your energy being on time, being in season, either it will prohibit you from having delays or it will minimize any delay. Now, the word delay means to make someone or something late or slow. When you're talking about your money is coming in slow. Sometimes people put things in position, build things, and expect other people to care for those businesses, those ventures, or those endeavors the way that you do. Placing people on your team, placing people from your family in your business that do not have your best interests at heart will cause delays, which will slow down your progression, slow down your prosperity, slow down or make you late in being able, like they said, in due season. You will always be late, $1 short and a day late. When you're fooling with people that do not have your best interest, I don't care if you're an Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lukumi, Palo, Obia, Hoodoo, Christianity, Islam, you name it. The reason why we are ineffective in some areas of our life is because of self-denial. Because even if you say that you're not self-denying, when you don't know and you ain't studied your own talents, your own skills, your own measures, how can you really realistically position yourself in conjure of knowing how to sit down and count up the cost, because you don't know what all they're going to take for you to manifest what you're asking for. So just having a desire and not understanding what all comes along with that desire is also self-denial, because you denied yourself the information. Thank you. As you come in, guys, if you don't mind hitting that like button. People can't teach you what they don't know. I'm going to say this again. I say this oftentimes. I don't care how young somebody is. I don't care how old they are. People cannot instruct you, advise you in something that they do not do. There's always going to be a fracture in whatever they're telling you. Because a man or woman that does not practice what they preach, they cannot give you the proper pros and cons. Because in order for me to know what can be done with certain herbs, certain seasons, or certain workings, I must apply them myself. This is why when people use my products or they utilize my services, they can't tell me what my service. Demetrius can only testify of his Egun stick, but Demetrius cannot tell me what that Egun stick has the potential of doing because I have my own. When I create something for you, certain man, whether it's talisman, whether it's amulet, whether it's potions, whether it is just candles, whatever it is, I already know because I am the practitioner or I'm the participator of my said practice. I do not go out and decree things. When I told Mother Susan, I said, have you used your oil? I know what type of measure of testimony that she should have for using my oil that I put together because I use it myself. Even though she may have a different outcome because she has certain sinus issues that may be very different from mine. But at the end of the day, I expect, do y'all hear me? I expect certain manifestation because I utilize my product myself. What's up, my Monique Popopo crab cakes in the house? When you want to be a proficient spiritualist, utilizing your own arche, your own magic, encouraging people to be their individual self. See, it is hard for a person to encourage you to be them yourself when they are not being themselves. I'm going to say this again. Cayenne pepper, can I encourage bell pepper to be itself when cayenne pepper is not being itself? The orange cannot encourage the apple because the orange has a problem with itself. See, when people make you self-loathe and self-hate, you don't understand that it hinders your manifestation. When you don't understand water element, you're doing yourself a disservice. When you, as a water sign, whether it's Cancer, whether it is Scorpio, whether it's Pisces, whether you got those placements, and you're not understanding how that works, how can you properly manifest without delays when you have denied yourself of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of that said element? You're not giving yourself the opportunity. You're just being emotional. I was talking to Mother Susan one day, and I said, I know you're upset, but the problem I have with you being upset, you can't even tell me why you're upset. Do you not know many of you guys will live your life and die and not ever understanding your emotions? You're calling yourself angry when you're really not angry. You're embarrassed that you do not know what is being said to you. But we have allowed people to redirect our emotions and label us in certain emotional categories, and now we only function based off knowledge, a function of a few emotions that we can identify. If water in Pisces is run that deep, that the top of the water, Yemiya, could be hot from the sun, and then the pressure at the bottom of Olokun could be cruelly cold, bitter cold, and the pressure is crushing. Emotions are so strong that submarines crush under the pressure. But creatures, fishes, little fish are swimming at the depths up under that pressure because they were created to deal with that pressure. Those submarines made by man were not created for the pressure of those emotions. See, you don't know the power of emotion, the water element. This is why water is a primordial element. If you have respect for nature, you wouldn't allow your emotions to run wild. You would regulate your own emotions, because in regulating your emotion, you regulate your temperature, and therefore you regulate also your manifestation. In my former life, I was a Cancer. I was a Cancer. I'm a Sag now. I don't know why y'all think I don't know what I'm talking about. I had my one of my sons call me a nigger in the public. And I processed what he said publicly, deciphering his real motive and his real problem with me. See, a lot of you guys, when you're dealing with somebody that's emotional, you're always talking about what you've done for that person. That does not solve your problem. Understanding their emotional state when it comes to you. And because we have, it may be our son or our daughter or our parent, we try to make them something different. So I sat back and I looked at it. I just saw it on my Facebook page because Minister Mario Son of Atrocious set up a block, so I have to view anybody that tags me into something. But I had heard about it from other people. So I never responded to him because I saw it. I responded to him because of some of the people that I trusted told me he did it. I only saw it the other day. Physically saw it. So let me explain what I'm saying. He chose to call me a nigger. Public. I'm a Sagittarius. He's a Cancer. It was what he was calling me a nigger for. So, I want to say this. I'm his father. I will never be a nigger to him. I want to talk to y'all. Because some of y'all having struggles and you having delays and manifestation because you don't know how to decipher people's emotional state. He will always feel that I've chosen another over him. It wouldn't matter if I gave him 12 mansions, $5 billion, because he knows emotionally how I feel about somebody else. He doesn't have the emotional maturity to accept his fate. He's going to try to make me pay for how I feel about somebody else. The very element that you want people to identify and to acknowledge, your emotions, you don't want to respect the emotions of other people. Oh, I'm going somewhere. Because I'm going to help some of you all that want to be helped. You as a Cancer, take your emotions to the pinnacle. And you want it to be identified, whether false or true. You want it to be acknowledged. You want that emotion that you conjured to be acknowledged by people, places, and things that are connected to you and say that they love you. But you will not respect the emotional state of other people. How can you see? This is what people understand about me. I have to first acknowledge that his disrespect has nothing to do with me. When somebody is disrespectful or of the element, then they're not going to respect that element in anybody else. Whether it is fire, whether it's air, whether it's earth, whether it is water, whether it is masculine, whether it's feminine. People that have a problem with the element has a problem with themselves, and they also have a problem with those that reflect that element. The mere fact as a water sign ruled by the moon and cycles, those are the very things you don't have respect for. How I'm going to be a fire sign don't have no respect for fire? How can I flow in that? How can I operate in that? How can I recognize that energy in other people, places, and things? I am trying to help you understand that there's nothing that I can do or say. He's always going to see me as a problem. And what I do for him is I put him in his Cancerian place. Because you can't have a problem with my manhood. Because when I was your age, I was further along in my development. See, when you don't respect seasons and you're a Cancer, when I was in your season, look at what I accomplished. When I was operating in your timing, your time zone, your timeline. See, when a man or woman don't want to respect your seasons, when somebody say, I'm seasoned, that means they went through all 4 seasons. They went through all of the development. I'm a seasoned veteran at this shit. And when you got a person that is ruled by the season, ain't got no respect for the season, that's not a you thing, that's a them thing. I know I'm talking some good stuff. I'm doing it for free. You're gonna create delays in your own life. He got a problem with his mother and he got a problem with his daddy. He has a problem with his own foundation. He's gonna be always unstable. And it will never be about people, places, and things. It will always be about how he feels about himself. And he's gonna look for validation of other people. And you know what happens when validation is coming from other people? It's like a drug. You're going to need those people around, and those people are not going to always make you feel what? Validated. But validation should come from within. But that is built off of your security of yourself. I'm everything he would want to be and never could be. When people have an underlying, they're always saying some undertow comment, or we call it backhanded comment. These people are envious and jealous. These people will never do the good that I do with my gifts, with my power, with my knowledge, with the ambience of my looks, you would never do what I do. So why do you want what I have? You would never feel the shoes. You would never walk the walk. You would never give the talk. You would never work the miracles that I have worked if you had everything that I had. Because you're not me. I'm an individual with gifts, with talents, with abilities, with measures. The reason why you thought I was down for the count, because that's how you is. But I'm a fire sign. Where there's a will, there is a way. And if there's a way, I'm going to find it. Only way I don't find it, God ain't intended for me to find it. And then at that point, ain't nothing I can do. But as long as I got God on my side, or I'm going to come through. What I don't give a damn what it is. That's just me. But I respect fire. I'll give you another example. I do not personally like my sister's ex-husband. But I have respect for him. You can't, as an individual man or woman, have disrespect for the very ability to, because he's a go-getter. He ain't gonna sit on his ass for nobody. He always trying to figure out a way, whether it work or not. I got respect for that. I used to love going, as a kid, I used to love going down to Miami, because Miami, I love the hustle that is in Miami. They don't give a damn if they got to sell water, flour, grapes, animals. They got a hustle. You could be around certain people, and I was selling water. Cogging water. When y'all think that I want what he or she got, but if you ain't got that hustle in you, you gonna let it fall. As a lot of people want, let me inherit this and let me get this. You won't even work for what you got. You won't work hard enough to bring you out of the reality that you know and everybody know you don't like. You would prefer to be living totally different than what you live in. And you, sir or man, will not work hard for you. So what make you think you gonna work hard for me? What's up, my Pisces goddess in the house? I want y'all to really think about it. You say that you are Cancer, and you a water sign, and you ain't got no respect for passion. That's an emotion fueled by fire, but it is an emotion. How you ain't got respect for another man or woman that is passionate about what they doing, their undertaking, their magic, whatever it is? You should be the first one got respect for them. You ain't got to like them. You ain't even got to like how they use it. That's the point of Luke Skywalker with Darth Vader and Yoda. Bitch, you the one got to choose. You is Luke. You got to either choose the Force with Darth Vader, your father, or Yoda. But you got to choose. Both of those are the Force. And guess what? It don't matter which side you choose. Me, on the other hand, I choose both. But if you choose one or the other, you still got to respect the other side, because it's still the Force. It don't matter if you describe it as dark. It doesn't matter if you could describe it as wicked. It doesn't matter if you describe it as destructive. You can describe that energy, frequency, and vibration however you so choose. But if you're a grown man and a grown woman really trying to learn conscious, you're going to respect that. See, it don't matter that I ain't participating in certain tradition. I can still respect it. Some of y'all think that the amount of respect is given based on your experience. Some of you, the reason why you have certain delays in your elays, your covenants, and in your businesses, it's because how you approach people. Just like you ain't got no respect for your family members, you'll go to their house unannounced. You'll walk through their house going through their stuff. You don't know why you creating delays. You self-denial. I'm gonna read it again. It's denial of one's own interests and needs. This ain't got nothing to do with selfishness. When you take care of you and all that encompasses Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Aquarius, Cancer, Capricorn, Leo, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Libra, and Virgo. At that point, sir and ma'am, you can do for any fucking body you want to. Because you good. You're trying to be good for people when you ain't good for yourself. People think, and no matter how many times I say this, I'm not here to change your mind. When I'm talking to people, oh, well, Apostle, I don't say it like you said. I'm not trying to get you to use my verbiage. I'm trying to get you to understand that what you saying out your mouth, you don't have the action. We in the age of Aquarius. People, facts matter. Some of y'all just got a good talk game. You can't fuck with the damn, but you got a good talk game. Huh? You can't slam dunk a piece of pussy if they lifted you up there, the dunking in there. You ain't got it. But your talk game, you think you could slam every pussy on this road that I live on. And we all know that ain't true. Some of y'all just busy. You ain't doing shit. You just moving. You ain't got no direction. You ain't got no focus. You ain't even got a goddamn compass. You don't even know if you in the east, the west, the north, and the south. You out here conjuring and don't even know your directions, as though it don't matter. And we all know that practice real magic, that it matters. The mere fact that you don't understand your element, the mere fact that you don't understand as a melanated man or woman, I don't give a fuck if you're bisexual, I don't care if you gay, I don't care if you straight. We talking about energy. I don't know why black people people fucking change the fact that they done accomplished what they done accomplished. Who told y'all that your personal opinion about a man or a woman changes their energy, frequency, vibration, or their accomplishment? You have the opportunity in the season of Cancer to get your ass together, to get your cycles together, to get your phases together, to get your timing together. This is what I love about jump rope and double dutch. You gotta have timing. Every exercise, every tradition gonna teach you to develop self. And some of y'all need to find a tradition that can teach you timing. And I know you don't like to deal with Capricorn, but Father Time will teach your ass about timing. The moon cycle will teach you about cycles. A bleeding pussy is still a good pussy. It's just getting rid of all the waste. Because women neglect themselves and don't understand how much blood they need in their body. If you have respect your cycle, if you respect your menstrual cycle, you respect the moon magic. You will be prepared for that time of the month. Bitch, you is 91 years old and you still ain't prepared. Your pussy done dried up and you ain't even see it coming. There's no way that if you are in contra, I don't care if you're a hoodooist, voodooist, wizard, sorcerer, I don't care. How in the world that you don't understand the power of cycles? When you understand your cycle, you also understand when you are most fertile. That means in any form of magic, you are always looking for fertile ground. You're always looking for herbs that promote fertility. Because fertility ain't just about having babies. You can birth your businesses, a new reality, a different mindset, all kind of shit. Birth Ngangas, birth cauldrons, birth other spirits. Yes, women can birth other energy, which are spirits. And I don't know why y'all so mad with melanated people. That lying dog ass nigga that you talk about, a pussy birth that. All of them murdering ass people that is on this planet, a white piece of pussy birthed it. Instead of you mad with the pussy, you mad with the Chucky, the Jason, what the hell, damn leprechaun, the Freddy Krueger. Somebody fed that fucker before he got up some sides. You seen how he was looking at them knives, even as a baby. A lot of stuff that we should be paying attention to, because if we understood the moon cycle, then you would see things before they ever mature. This is why people, even though I talk about nipping stuff in the bud, the reason why you can't, because you don't understand the difference between a wheat and a tear. Some of y'all don't even see certain things people say and do as a problem. You don't see it as a problem until it becomes a problem. And you the main one talking about you got discernment. How? How do you have discernment? Why did this thing have to come? It become a forest for you to say, oh damn. You ain't got enough experience up on your belt to recognize where that thing is headed. Before it ever get out there, before it ever mature, before it ever become a hurricane, there's always signs in the atmosphere that something is brewing. Some of y'all got to wait till you get hit. You can't even feel the energy, the frequency, and the vibration. I thank you for the information and knowledge. It is the truth. Thank you. I think happily. Let me tell y'all something. Melanated people, the reason why we undermine each other. Say, for instance, some man or some woman, melanated, is great at something. You ain't gonna stop until you try to become competition. You're not happy in your own lane, in your own. You believe, because you were taught this fucked up doctrine, that your greatness depends on who you greater than. We just can't be melanated and walk in the spirit of excellence. You got to. Let me tell you something. It's some people on this app, this YouTube, my TikTok, they got bigger numbers than I got. There's some people that's warm They get 1,000 views. My views go up and down. But I'm here to tell you. Let me explain to you what I mean by staying in your own goddamn lane. I don't care what other people, how many fruit that they are bearing, cause that's their tree. I give a damn about this tree. This Sagittarius, Moon in Aries, and Rising sign Pisces. I got the best interest for myself, and that's how I know who got my best interest. See, when you get your best interest, you're gonna know. That's why you can ignore what I'm saying. Because if you had your best interest, you would know I'm saying some helpful shit to you. So, I'm sitting here and I'm looking at other content creators. I can go in their lives, like their stuff, share all that. Because as long as God is supplying my needs according to his riches and glory, the numbers don't matter. Some of you done had many dicks. Some of you done had many pussies. But you have never had somebody to love on you. Because you ain't never loved on yourself. The reason why you can reject things and the reason why you can accept things, because you don't know what your self-love is. So you don't have nothing to measure, because every other love that you are out here measuring is the love your mother has for you. The love that your father has for you. That is an emotion. And I can supersede the love of my mother for me. Because there's things about how she loves me is detrimental. There's things about how he loves me is detrimental. So if I got to go beyond that emotion and I seek a greater love for myself and my existence in this universe, it will overpower dysfunctional love. Because remember, emotion is energy moving. However that energy moves out of the hearts and the hearts of your father, your mother, your brother, your sister, you can get caught in the currents and lose your identity. I told my son one day, I said, I ain't call his name, but anyway, I said to him, because he loves shrimp, scampi. So I told him, I want you to be able to eat shrimp scampi, even if I don't want you to eat shrimp scampi. See, when somebody matures to the point that they want you to be successful, even though they may not benefit. See, you ain't got to that place. See, you can't love what somebody is doing without trying to take it. You ain't got there. You can't be happy for your friend with a relationship until you try to destroy that shit. Most of the bride's problem is in her mating, and sometimes in the groom, because his groom and homeboys fucking your husband. Praise God. I'm keeping it real. And if you were real about what you wanted in a man, you wouldn't have a problem with your husband being bisexual. Because there's somebody for everybody. Whatever your emotional state, but when you ain't true to yourself, you be rejecting the wrong shit and accepting the wrong shit. That's all I'm saying. Them your emotions. Them emotions that you ain't even trying to understand. And you don't realize how it's gonna affect your manifestation. I don't care if you're working with candles, incense, when you are emotionally disturbed, which means you're gonna scatter your energy. And it's gonna be harder for you to manifest. The more you're in oneness with self, the laser focused your energy is. which means concentrated, which means it's gonna impact the most based off your measure. I'm not guessing. I'm not assuming. I'm telling you, like I've been doing magic since I was a kid, 3 to 4 years old. I'm 52 years of age. I've been dealing with every aspect of magic that I've been working with. And not once do I have any disregard or disrespect for energy, frequency, and vibration. I want to encourage many of you to stop the self-denial. Don't worry about the delay. The delays will disappear when you stop the self-denial. If they don't disappear, they will be so meaner. It will minimize to it will be like a molehill. The reason why you keep seeing giants, you keep seeing things as problems, because there's trouble in paradise. There is trouble in your secret garden, and you're not trying to attend. When one woman was out as a emissary for the Amazons and was fighting in man's world, when Paradise Island got up on attack, she had to come home. Some of y'all don't know when to come home. Come home to your fucking self and defend your home front. You trying to defend everybody else's home front but yours. And this is why you can't respect my magic. This is why you can't respect what I do. This is why you can't respect what I be saying. Because you think that you're a martyr and something special because you get self-sacrifice for somebody else's fuck ass. And you know what the real truth? When you dead and gone, they're going to still be out here doing what they were doing before you died. If that ain't stupid, and if that ain't in vain, I don't know what else is. Call me crazy. All right? Love y'all. I'll see y'all a little later on, depending on how y'all visit my website and show me some love through Zelle and PayPal. Peace out.